Enough spending. Let's now bring in New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. Thank you very much, Nicole, for talking to us. So as you know, lawmakers are considering a fiscal package that would, and this is what it would do, it would delay, extend, or enact various tax and health care provisions, which, by the way, would cost at least $240 billion in the first year, more than $1.9 trillion over a decade if made permanent. Now, not only would this add to the deficit, obviously, but wouldn't this spending also worsen inflation?
Yeah, and among the things that President Biden is actually requesting is more COVID funding when you still have roughly a trillion that's gone unspent. And we hear reports of $400 billion that have gone just basically disappeared and has been stolen. And there needs to be accountability, and the Department of Justice has been prosecuting individuals over that. So certainly Republicans are opposed to increasing spending, and so are the American taxpayers. During the election, they said very clearly that inflation was a top issue. They took control from Nancy Pelosi and gave it to Republicans because they want to see more fiscal responsibility. And quite frankly, they know that it's this type of inflationary spending that has increased their heating and electricity costs, that has increased their food costs, that has taken away a month of their earnings when you calculate inflation being 8.3%. And in addition to that, have just really added so much debt. The only thing that has not gone up, as a matter of fact, has been your 401k and your retirement savings, because people are seeing the fiscal policy and the damages that it has had across the board. Even mortgages have been increased as a result of Democrats' inflationary spending. So Republicans want to see more fiscal responsibility. We want to make sure that we are paying down our debt, that we want to see offsets. If you're going to spend money, you got to take it from somewhere. And in addition to that, we have to stop the discretionary spending that's going to all these programs that have, don't have authorization. They haven't had it for years.
I'm sitting here watching video that we're rolling right now, watching money being printed, and I literally am thinking that I'm watching play money. I mean, it looks like we're just printing money like they do for my kids who play with fake money, but it's real and it's our money. It's our tax dollars. And Democrats are attempting to pass a package with possibly no bipartisan agreement. What would mean, basically for the U.S. economy? The more you borrow, what happens to the economy come 2023? And what is the GOP reaction to the Democrats' overspending and borrowing plan?
Well, that is why we are going to fight, and it really comes down to the Senate Republicans sticking with us, that we only get an extension of the current funding levels until the new year when Republicans take control of the House, so we have a seat at the table. We also want to use our leverage, by the way, to push President Biden to secure the borders, and that's something we can do by having that power of the purse. But the reality is the American people are the ones that suffer when government doesn't control its spending, and they're seeing that right now with their increased bills when it comes to heat, when it comes to electricity, when it comes to food costs. And as I said earlier, it's impacting all sorts of things, from your 401k to mortgage rates increasing. And Americans have just had enough. And we have to do what